Hello. This will be my first official episode. Um, I will be reading it off my notes off my phone, but everything that I speak of here, it's all real, it's all true, and this will definitely give you a glimpse into my adolescent years, and so you can know where I'm coming from, and perhaps maybe even you've experienced some of these unfortunate events. Okay, it all started when I was a child. I grew up in a violent household. My father was a violent man, worse when he was drinking. At first, it was the yelling. He'd scream and curse at my mother. He'd throw things. I remember being around 5 years old when he got enraged and he hurled a pan against the wall and it broke. I was hiding under the dining room table, terrified. I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't understand why he was so angry all the time. I mean, thankfully he never laid a hand on my mother, but the trauma had only just begun for myself, my brother, and well, I'm sure my mom had already experienced plenty of it prior, before I was born. My adolescent years were filled with physical and emotional abuse from him. I think I was around 7 or 8 when it started. That's when things took a dark turn for me and my two younger siblings. It got so bad I started thinking about death and suicide. I remember the thoughts in my head at 8 years old saying, I don't want to live anymore. This is not a happy home. I'm not happy. I just want to die. Now that I have kids of my own, it crushes me to imagine them ever feeling that way. The physical abuse was brutal. My brother and I were beaten like strangers in the street. Punches, kicks, blows to the head and body. I remember one time I was hit so hard in the head, everything turned gray. It's still hard to speak about it. Even now it feels like I'm reliving it all over again. We were raised Catholic. We barely went to church, but I started building my own faith in God. I prayed every day for things to get better. I begged for my father to change. But of course, nothing ever did. I'm not trying to make this about religion. It's just part of my story. The physical abuse went on until I was about 12. But the verbal abuse, that never ended. By the time I was 14, I was drowning in depression. My self-esteem was at rock bottom and I was constantly anxious living in that house. One day my family went grocery shopping and I stayed home alone. I knew my father had a gun and I knew where he kept it along with the bullets. I searched for it. I wanted to end it. I couldn't find it. Looking back, I think my mom had moved it, maybe because she didn't trust my father, especially when he drank. I remember I kept searching through his bedroom, but came up empty. I guess it just wasn't my time to go. Now, going through all this, high school was rough. I had zero confidence and told no one about what was happening at home. I might have opened up to a close friend once, but it was brief. Nothing came of it. I didn't make many friends. I just remember always feeling like I was less than everyone else. That mindset came from years of being belittled. For as long as I can remember, my father called me dumb, stupid, ignorant. He said it so often while my brain was still developing that I believed him. I already thought I had nothing to offer anyone. That mindset stayed with me for years until I was about 19. That's when I got a chance to work with a relative who had a completely different outlook on life. For the first time, my mind was exposed to something other than negativity. It was the beginning of me seeing life a little differently, the beginning of hope. That was the beginning of something different for me, and I'll share more of that part of the journey in time. But now I just want to thank you for listening, and just know that if you could relate to any of this, you're not alone. And unfortunately, I'm sure it still happens a lot to this day. Thanks for listening. I'll see you on the next one.